What if Eden wasn't just one garden in ancient Mesopotamia? What if at least 7 sacred traditions describe the exact same paradise, but each one reveals a secret the others deliberately hide? What happens when you piece together every forbidden version? Before we begin, this content is educational and comparative in nature. We deeply respect all religious and spiritual traditions mentioned. Our goal is to explore symbolism and interpretations in a respectful and reflective manner. What if paradise was never about a garden at all? Christianity teaches us about Eden, a perfect garden, forbidden fruit, a serpent, the fall. The story everyone knows by heart. But here's what almost nobody notices: this exact narrative and original paradise, human error, divine expulsion shows up in at least 7 major spiritual traditions across the world. And we're not talking about vague similarities. We're talking about details that are disturbingly identical. In the Quran, Eden is called Jannah. Adam and Hawa are there, but the story has layers Christianity never explores. The serpent isn't the primary villain, it's Iblis, an entity who refuses to bow before humanity. The fall isn't just disobedience, it's pride. It's the refusal to recognize the sacred within the human. And this is where the first tension emerges. If the original sin in Islam is fundamentally different, then what actually happened in that garden? But that's not even the strangest part. In Jewish mysticism, especially within Kabbalistic texts, Eden isn't a physical location. It's a state of consciousness. It's the moment before separation between the divine and human, between light and shadow. The Zohar speaks of a garden divided into levels, some accessible, others completely hidden. There are versions of Eden that even angels cannot perceive. And if you think that's complex, wait until you discover that in Kabbalah, the serpent isn't evil. She's necessary. She's the impulse that forces the human soul to evolve. Now, something even more unsettling emerges. In Hinduism, there's Svarga, a celestial plane of beauty and harmony where the devas dwell. But there's also another version, Vaikuntha, the eternal abode of Vishnu, where there's no death, no separation. And then there's the concept of Satya Yuga, the lost golden age where humans lived in perfect alignment with the divine. There was no fall. There were cycles. Perfection dissolved naturally, like a season ending. Eden here isn't lost through sin. It's lost through time. And this is where everything shifts. Because if Eden appears in so many traditions, but with different meanings, different causes, different endings, then it can't just be a story. It's a symbol, an archetype, something engraved in the human soul that transcends culture, geography, and religion. Something all these traditions tried to describe, each in their own way. What if they're all correct? What if they're all telling fragments of a greater truth that no single religion can fully capture alone? The most disturbing part is that in every single version, there's a hidden element, something not openly stated, something that was removed, forgotten, or deliberately concealed. Why every religion describes a lost place, but none tell the complete story? Let's go deeper. In Buddhism, there's no exact Eden, but there's something called Tushita, a celestial realm of absolute peace, where bodhisattvas wait before being born into the human world. It's a place of immaculate happiness, and more importantly, it's a place that can be reached again, not through faith, through practice, through enlightenment. Here, paradise wasn't lost through disobedience, it was left voluntarily. Buddha chose to be born into the world of suffering to teach the way back. This changes everything, because if, in Buddhism, it is something you consciously abandon to evolve, then the fall isn't a curse. It's a choice. It's part of the journey, and this opens a door few dare to cross. What if the expulsion from Eden was never punishment? What if it was the beginning of humanity's true spiritual mission? But there's a detail almost nobody catches. In Norse mythology, there's Asgard, the dwelling of the gods. But there's also Yggdrasil, the cosmic tree connecting all worlds. And at the roots of this tree, there's a well called Urarbrunner, where the Norns weave fate. It's a place of absolute knowledge, where past, present, and future converge. But humans can't reach it, not because they were expelled, because they were never there. The Norse paradise isn't nostalgic, it's aspirational. It's not about what we lost, It's about what we haven't yet achieved. And now observe the pattern. In Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest religions, there's the concept of Aryanam Vijaya, the original perfect land created by Ahura Mazda. It was a place without pain, without cold, without death, until Angra Mainyu, the destructive spirit, invaded and brought winter, disease, chaos. Humans were forced to migrate. Perfection was destroyed not through human error, but through a cosmic war between good and evil. Here, Eden isn't lost by choice, it's taken by force. But that's not the most terrifying part. What's truly unsettling is this: all these traditions, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Norse mythology, Zoroastrianism, speak of an original state of perfection, but each attributes the loss of this state to something different: sin, pride, time, conscious choice, divine war, destiny. So what does this mean? It means Eden isn't a place. It's humanity's collective memory, a universal longing for something we all feel, but nobody can completely name. It's the sensation that we were once whole, and now we're fragmented, that we were once home, and now we're lost. How the hidden versions of Eden reveal the true purpose of the fall. There's a text almost nobody knows about. It's an apocryphal book called Life of Adam and Eve, also known as Apocalypse of Moses. It's not in the Bible. It was considered too controversial, and in it, the Eden story gains disturbing layers that Genesis never mentions. According to this text, after being expelled, Adam and Eve try to return. They fast, stand in freezing rivers for days, begging for forgiveness. Eve stands submerged up to her neck in the Tigris River for 40 days, praying. But Satan appears disguised as an angel and deceives Eve again. She gives up. And here comes the shocking detail. Satan tells Eve he hated her from the beginning, not because she sinned, but because God loved humans more than angels. The fall wasn't about forbidden knowledge. It was about divine jealousy. But there's something almost nobody notices. In Gnostic writings, early Christian texts considered heretical the serpent isn't the villain. She's the hero. The God who created Eden isn't the true God. He's the demiurge, an inferior entity who imprisoned humanity in ignorance. The serpent brings gnosis, spiritual knowledge. She liberates Adam and Eve. The expulsion isn't punishment, it's liberation. Paradise was a golden cage, and the fall was the first step toward true enlightenment. This turns everything upside down. In Sufism, the mystical tradition of Islam, there's an even more radical interpretation. Adam didn't fall, he descended. And this descent was part of the divine plan from the beginning. Eden was the spiritual womb. Earth is the school. The human soul was created to experience separation, pain, desire, because only then can it truly comprehend God's love. The return to paradise isn't going back to the garden. It's transcending the need for it. It's finding Eden within yourself. And this is where everything transforms. Because all these hidden versions, apocryphal, Gnostic, mystical, share one radical truth: the fall wasn't a mistake. It was intentional. Eden wasn't lost. It was transcended. Humanity wasn't cursed. It was launched on a journey of self-discovery that's only possible through pain, choice, transformation. What if that was always the true purpose? What if the lost paradise was never meant to be recovered, but integrated? What if the search for external Eden is a distraction from the real work, building the Eden within? These are questions that cross every religion, and perhaps the answer isn't in any single tradition alone, but in the synthesis of all of them. If something in this video touched you in any way, comment the word awakening, and tell me, which of these Eden versions resonates most with your spiritual journey? Leave your like if this made you see paradise differently, and subscribe to continue exploring the sacred mysteries that cross all religions. What if Eden was never lost and has always been inside us? There's one final layer to this story that few people know, and it changes absolutely everything. In Chinese Taoism, there's the concept of Wuji, the primordial state of absolute unity, before duality, before the separation of yin and yang, before any creation. It's not a garden, it's not a place, it's pure potentiality. It's the creative void from which everything emerges. And the fall in Taoism isn't an expulsion, it's a differentiation. The one becomes two, the two becomes 10,000 things, but the one never ceases to exist. It remains there, at the center of everything, waiting to be rediscovered. And now connect this with every tradition we've explored. The biblical Eden, the Islamic Jannah, the Hindu Svarga, the Buddhist Tushita, the Norse Asgard, the Zoroastrian Aryan Mvija, the Taoist Wuji, they all point to the same hidden truth. There's an original state of perfection. It's not in the past. It's not in some distant place. It's beyond time. It's within. And the entire spiritual journey, all religions, all practices, all seeking is about rediscovering that state. But here's what's most unsettling. If all these traditions are correct, then Eden was never a physical place that existed and was lost. It's a universal symbol of awakened consciousness. It's what you experience when you transcend the ego, when you dissolve the illusion of separation, when you realize you were never separate from the divine. All religions are attempting to describe the same mystical experience, using different metaphors. The tree of knowledge? It's the dualistic mind that divides the world into right and wrong, sacred and profane, self and other. The serpent? It's the impulse to awaken, to question, to seek beyond appearances. The expulsion? It's the forgetting of our divine nature. And the return? It's the remembering. And this opens a door few dare to cross. If Eden is inside you, then you never lost it. You just forgot where it is. All spiritual traditions, all prayers, meditations, rituals, fasts, pilgrimages are ways of clearing the dust from memory. They're different maps to the same treasure. And the treasure isn't at the end of the path. It's been in you from the beginning. Perhaps the true hidden revelation is this: the lost paradise was never about a garden in the past. It was about the garden you carry inside yourself right now. And the only way to find it is to stop searching out there and start digging within, where no religion can enter for you, where no text can reach for you, where you alone must make the journey back. And when you finally arrive, you realize you never left. If this journey transforms something in how you see spirituality, comment the word reunion. Which Eden tradition speaks loudest to your heart? Leave your like if this expanded your consciousness. Subscribe so we can explore more sacred mysteries together, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave the word awakening when you share.